Hello and welcome to the channel. You've probably seen the channel, the title for this video. I'm not trying to do any poverty, what's the word? It's a word, I don't want to use it. But anyway, essentially, I'm really watching and reacting to the video out of my sheer curiosity and out of the mission of this reaction channel to talk about things that concern the African continent, whether the people, the music, information, knowledge, history, things like that. So if you have any video that you would like me to react to that tends towards Africa in one way or the other, go ahead and leave in the comments. I'll be more than happy to watch it. And if I like it or not, I might react to it. And so today's video is, why is Africa so poor? Hint, it isn't colonialism. The video is by the Y Minutes. It's a short video. So let's see what it looks like. Let's see what they have for us. All right. I'm going to play. Anyway, while it's loading, let's find out if...
Why is Africa so poor? How could a place that holds trillions of dollars in rare minerals, gems, and other resources be so incredibly impoverished? And for many, the answer is simple enough. Africa is poor because of the legacy of colonialism. The narrative usually goes something like this. Europe's great powers invaded, conquered, and pillaged Africa of its raw resources, leaving the continent impoverished to this very day.
I mean, just looking at that argument, then why is the pillaging and whatever still going on even up to now? If it's impoverished because it's all the resources have been removed, then it doesn't make sense. The argument kills itself. But anyway, then again, I'm just reacting because I have to react to reaction videos. I cannot just keep playing the video. If you want to watch the whole video, the link is going to be there. And also, I do enjoy the sound of my voice.
Now, more than 60 years after the end of colonial rule, the continent is still struggling to overcome decades of exploitation at the hands of the European powers. It's a compelling narrative, and many people believe it. But the problem is, it doesn't seem to be telling the whole story, and here's the proof. Consider the story of another ex-colony that gained its independence around the same time as most African nations. Singapore, a former British colony with virtually no natural resources, has risen to become one of the wealthiest nations in the world. Today, Singapore is actually richer on a per capita basis than its former colonizer. So if colonialism doesn't tell the entire story there, is there anything else that can explain why Africa specifically is so poor?
Then again, here's the thing about this argument. It's like, we would take the whole African continent, and this is the thing, I'm not even at the end of his argument, right? So I could probably be just looking for holes in the argument where there isn't any. But we've taken the whole African continent, we've given one explanation why people say it could be poor, and we've debunked that whole explanation by looking at one country and explained that if colonialism was the reason why the African continent is poor, it's not true, because there's this one country that was colonized and is looking better now. It's like saying that there's a whole family and everybody in that family is broke, and somebody tells, well, they're broke because they are all from, I don't know, one neighborhood. And another person's like, well, look at this one kid from the neighborhood who did really well. So clearly it's not the neighborhood as a problem. So I don't know. One of those, I don't know, strawman. It's one of those funny arguments. I don't know how it's called, but anyway, it's just what I'm thinking when I'm listening to this, which is, it sounds good. Like, I'm really getting the point of what he's trying to say. It's just like one of those things that's like, well, that's not really making sense. But anyway, let's carry on.
Well, one interesting factor is Africa's geography. The economist Thomas Sowell points out that bad geography has hindered the continent's development for centuries and continues to do so to this very day. For example, while Europe's long coastline and plentiful natural harbors helped to facilitate a strong maritime trade all the way back to classical antiquity, Africa has had few of these features. In fact, the continent actually has less coastline than Europe, despite the fact that it's much bigger. It has very few deep water ports, and with the exception of the Nile, none of Africa's major rivers are easily navigable all the way to the ocean. These geographical problems create huge challenges to trade in Africa, but geography is not destiny. Just look at Botswana. This sub-Saharan country has set records for economic growth despite being landlocked in the middle of the Kalahari Desert. While Botswana does have plenty of diamonds, it lacks many of the other major natural resources, rivers, or harbors that many of its neighbors do.
All right, second argument here is geography, and it's been debunked by using another example of a country that has bad geography but is able to win. Again, for me, just thinking through it is like, something is still missing. I don't know what it is, but the argument doesn't line up about what is going wrong, what is right. Again. Let me watch till the end. I might be just jumping the gun here.
And yet, Botswana is one of the richest nations in Africa with a strong and growing economy. The story of both Botswana and Singapore show that the true culprits behind Africa's persistent poverty has to be something else. Now consider this. In the Tanzanian Constitution in 1965, it discussed the government's role to, quote, prevent the accumulation of wealth to an extent which is inconsistent with the existence of a classless society. This Marxist sentiment was not unusual in sub-Saharan African governments post-colonialism. The bottom line is, many former colonies have not only overcome prior subjugation, but have thrived both politically and economically. But they all seem to have something
like
in
you
common.
just give 2 examples. I said many. Just 2 examples, not many.
Instead of trading colonialism for Marx, they adopted systems which encouraged private property rights while at the same time embracing stable governments which established dependable legal systems and then courted foreign investment. The good news is there is hope for countries still struggling to develop, but history suggests that it will come not only through political freedom, but economic freedom as well.
All right. First of all, this is a 3-minute video. I should not be going in there with the expectation to understand what is going to change my understanding of why Africa is poor. I saw some of the comments. Actually, let me just show you some of the comments that are there, which I thought were really interesting. Excuse me. The biggest problem in Africa, it isn't colonialism, poor leadership, corruption. Well, not even good leadership. 60 years old. Something about black man is, yeah. It's bottom line is, it's a 3-minute video. There's a lot that went into this video. Maybe it's a short part of another video, but it summarizes an idea of what could be the problem and provides a solution. And that's pretty much it. The reason I don't have much to add here. So I'll probably need to find a better video that talks about it. If you've seen another one that you thought was really helpful, leave a comment or let me know. I can go search it myself. But in the meantime, I think it's just an interesting video. That's it. It's an interesting video. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to see more reactions. And if there's a video you would like me to react to, please feel free to leave a comment with the link and I'll go check it out. Thank you. God bless you.